Hello everyone. Today we continue the project experimenting other modeling techniques with the creation of accessories for our alien project. Let's start. Okay, now last time we were modeling, we were seeing how to model aliens and other stuff from primitive mesh. We started everything from a cube, and I show you how to extrude, how to insect things in edit mode. Now today we are going to create some accessories that they have to be able to show up to any single body. Then let's start with something very simple. For example, if I want to create, for example, a bracelet for our aliens, I will have to create a bracelet, of course, that can be shown on this arm and the other arm. And here we will see we will have a problem, for example. And now I will show you what I mean. Let's switch off one of the body, for example, and we can use, for example, one of the existing body to copy part of the mesh and create a new object. Let's see, for example, if I want to create a bracelet which is around this arm, I will use the shape of the arm itself to generate a similar shape that will be a bracelet. For example, let's see, I go back in edit mode by pressing tab. Remember, wait a second, here you don't see my shortcut. Okay, then now you can see the shortcut here. Then I press tab and I go in edit mode. For example, I can take one of these geometry. You see this, for example, these four faces here. I can select all of them by pressing Alt. If I press the Alt button and click, I can select entire edge loop. Now this is the vertical edge loop. I have to take the other one. Okay, then now I select all four faces around this arm. Now what I can do is simply duplicate them by clicking Shift D, and then now if I move, I see that I have something that looks like a bracelet of the same diameter of the arm. Now pressing Escape, I deny the movement. Then now I have to separate this object by the body object, because being in edit mode, if I duplicate part of the mesh, this will be the same object. Then somehow I have to separate it. To separate the selected faces from this object, we press the button P to separate. Then I press P and then I separate the selection. Now by separating the selection, now I have two objects. You see, one is my alien, and now I have one is my bracelet. Why I have two? I have two because I have left and right, because when I copy the part of this, when I copy the selection from that object, the object had already a mirror modifier. Then if I switch off the body, now I have the body. It's called body 1.002 because it gives the same name with the new number, which is 002. I can change the name and call it bracelet 1, for example. And of course, we need to create our own group collection, our collection of accessories. Then I will create a new scene collection called, by pressing here, called accessories. Accessory. Okay. And I bring this inside here. If I want only one bracelet, it's pretty easy. I have to remove this mirror modifier. Then I will remove it, and now I have my bracelet. Now let's see what could be the problem. Let's switch on the body again. Why I don't see it? Where is the body? Sorry for that. Okay, here I have my body. Okay. Then now this bracelet, okay, first of all has to be a bit larger. Then I will go in edit mode again, select all of it, and I will do scale S, and then now I have this kind of bracelet effect. Okay, then now this bracelet was was created out of one of the two body, which is the body 1, and it works perfectly. But what if I switch on the body 2, for example? Sorry, the body. This is an extra object that I don't need. Sorry, I have to delete. Sorry for that. Okay, I have body 1, which is perfectly done for it, but the body 2 doesn't work. Okay, in this case, it's gonna be a problem, because when I will work with, when I will export the layers, and I will work with the Autogen software that put them all together, if this bracelet goes on top of this body, it's not gonna work. Then in this case, usually when I do all my project, what I do, I have to fix and I have to check if every accessories, every clothes, every whatever I do on top of the NFT character, it's gonna be good for all of them. Then somehow, if it's not, I have to modify one of the body. Then somehow I have to modify this body until the bracelet is gonna work perfectly for it as well. How to do? Okay, this body as well work with a mirror modifier. Then I don't need to modify both of the side, but I just need to modify one. I go in edit mode of this, and I have to move this, let's say the wrist a bit on the right and down. Then how to do? I will select some of this edge loop here around. Sorry, when it does like this, okay. Some of this edge loop around the hand. Then I will go in edit mode to select the edge, and then one, some of these edges. I can select many of them, like taking many of them like this. I go back in front view, and now by activating the proportional editing, I can move with G, grab, and you see with this circle is actually showing me what is moving. Okay, then how can I enlarge or decrease this circle with the middle button mouse, with the scroll wheel. And then now what I can do, I can move things until they work. Okay, then somehow probably I have to move all the hand. Then if I need to select with Blender, it's very interesting. You have, like, with the C keyboard shortcut, you can activate this selector, and you can paint everything you want to select. Be careful. Remember, now I am seeing all this edge in X-ray. Then I see the edge that is in front and also what is behind. This is very important, because if this is the X-ray mode, okay, then if I switch them off, you can see, you only see the edge which are in front of you. Then if I move one of them, the back edge, they don't move. Then somehow I want to select all of them. Remember, always click on X-ray, press C to paint the selection you want to take. If you press with the left mouse click, you select. If you want to deselect, you click with the middle mouse. And then now I can press G and move it. And now I try to move this bracelet in a position which makes sense. Okay, for example, here these fingers goes out. We have somehow to modify. Then I have to somehow modify everything in a way that makes sense and it look nice. Then I will move all this part by selecting them. As you can see here, for example, when I am in this proportional editing mode, there is two ways. Look, this is very interesting. If I go in the setting of this proportional editing, I can move it with smooth, sphere, random. What does it mean? For example, if I put random, you can see easily what happened. All of them move in a random way. If I press smooth, they move all in a smooth way, of course, etc. Another thing, if you see now I select only one finger, and if I move, they all move, because in here is uncheck this button connected only. If I only want to move this finger, of course I will put connected only, and now when I move, I only move this and everything that is connected to it. Now let's continue fixing it and see if we do something nice. Okay, now still doesn't work because of that finger, and let's fix everything. Okay, let's say that now probably could work. Let's see. Okay, from front view, then now you see this bracelet is gonna work for the body 2 and the body 1. This is very important. Okay, let's see what we can do interesting on this bracelet. For example, I show you some modifier, very interesting. We have already this subdivisions modifier, which is making, you know, like if you see this in edit mode, this is just 4 little, it's like actually a cube, okay? And how I can see it smooth and rounded because this is on. If I switch this off, it's gonna be just a little like the shape of a cube, okay? Then if I press subdivision, this is a modifier that makes everything smoother. What I can do, I can give some thickness with some modifier. There is a modifier here which is called Solidify, and when I press Solidify, I can add, you see it's gonna expand inside or outside. I can give some thickness to my bracelet. Okay, this is, let's say, simple, but it works. Okay. Later we will put some textures and we'll give some materials, and these we will see in the next future lessons. But let's make something more exciting. I will show you some a technique now to model things by following path. This is very interesting because for example, if I have to make now a necklace, I will first design the line, the Bezier curve, which is actually you know, line made with curves, like the principle of tracing path, for example, in graphic design. That is actually the same technique we use in Illustrator, in design, Photoshop, blah blah blah. And then first I will design the profile of the necklace, and then after I will be able to apply in this design any shape I want. Can be like chains, you know, like the jewels, okay? Can be like pearls, can be like whatever, can be everything you want. Let's see how it works. Okay, then in the accessories I have bracelet 1. I can put now necklace. Then let's first create this curve. Okay, I will have the same problem I have with the bracelet doing a neck, but as I can see here, my two bodies are pretty much similar on the neckline. Then somehow I won't have that problem. Let's see how this technique works first, and then we will create the necklace for our own NFT. I switch off everything just to show you that technique is very simple at the end. The technique is actually to create a line along the it will show many, you know, like mesh, like whatever you want somehow. We'll try with the cube first. Okay, then first of all, how to create a line where that will be our necklace. There is many ways. Okay, I show you the easiest. Shift A, instead to create a mesh, a primitive mesh, which is again like a cylinder, a torus, a cube, blah blah blah. We create a curve. Let's try with this, for example, with the Bezier curve. Okay, this Bezier curve always show up like this. Okay, and if I go in edit mode, you see that this is a curve made by 2 points. These 2 points you can rotate, you can scale them, and somehow if I rotate and scale, I can change the profile of my curve. Okay, now what I can do with this is, okay, let's say that we want to create a line which is filled by cubes. I will create also, then first I create my Bezier curve, then I will create the mesh I want to put on top. For example, in this case, an easy cube. I will go in edit mode as always. I will rescale it down to have a shape that it makes sense with the sides of my curve. And now, going back to object mode, I go in my modifier and I create an array. What is an array? An array is a modifier which, you see, every time I apply, I can multiply my mesh. this case is multiplied by 2 on the x-axis. You see y and z are 0. If I put 0 here, if I put 0, I don't see any cube. If I put a number, you see 1 is actually related to the sides. If I put 1, 1 is considered the sides of my cube. You remember when I was speaking about the real dimension of the cube here can be like 132 meter, but the scale is 111. Then if I put 1 here, it's gonna be offset by 1 cube. Then there is no space between the cube. Then if I want to put some cube, if I want to put some space, I will put, for example, 1.1, and this is the 0.1 space between them. If I put count more than 2, I can create an array as much as I want. But this is not what we want to do. What I want to do is I want to fix the count. Has to be the count to fit the curve from the beginning to the end. Then I won't use fixed count, but I will do fit curve. At this point, I have to say what curve. I might have more than one curve in my project. Then now I will say fit curve. I take this and I click on the curve itself. Now this is an amount of cube that go to fit all the curve along it. But how can I make it go on top of this profile and not straight as it is? I have to add another modifier, which is called curve. Then I go to the cube. The modifier has to be on the cube. And then this cube has an array. Now I will add another modifier, which is called deform, is a deform curve. At this point, I will say, okay, this is gonna fit the curve. And now you see how whatever I do on my curve in edit mode, including extrude, rotating, I create any shape I want. Based on that concept is very interesting, because what I can do is now change the shape of my cube. Then if I change the shape from here, look what happened. I go in edit mode. For example, let's do something easy. I can take this face, insect with I, and then extrude with E, and I press Y and I extrude in. Then now you see all of them, they change, and now all my chain is made by the same cube. For example, now the cube is facing down. If I want to make it facing somewhere else, I will go in edit mode again, select all my cube, and just rotating X, for example, plus 90. Let's see. Rotate R, X, and then you press 90, and then it's gonna. And then now, if I go back in edit mode, I see that now that is facing the other way. Okay, let's see what we can do. Let's make something more exciting. Now I will delete my cube, I will delete my curve, and now I go to see where is my body. Okay, where the necklace has to be. I have to create a necklace line around the neck. How to do? I will take a curve, which is not a Bezier, but I will take, for example, a circle, and I do Shift A, as we said. Okay, then this cube I delete. The accessory, I go in my accessory collection. Inside here, I will do Shift A, add curve, circle. Okay, this circle is exactly like the other curve, but is already closed and is a perfect circle. If I go in edit mode, you see that this is indeed, made by 4 Bezier points that I can modify anytime I want with the gizmo or with the keyboard. Okay, then I can put it wherever I want, and now this can be my neckline. Then I switch on the body again. I take all my curve, I go in front, I put it where it has to be, and then now I go in object mode to resize it. I don't go in edit mode, because if I resize it in edit mode, look what happened. I resize any single point, probably. Let me see, maybe I'm wrong. Wait, let me try. Okay. Actually, no. I can do by doing this is actually better. Then I go in edit mode. Be careful that here is medium point selected, because look, if it's not medium point, if you have individual origin, when I scale down, I will scale down any single point. And if I do medium point, I scale down all of it. Now probably I go inside view, I put it, I rotate it a bit, I move it a bit in front. Now I go in front here, I take this part, scale it without proportional editing, then I switch off this with O, and then select and scale S, then I move it down. This probably has to be more here, this probably has to be more here, and the backline, okay, probably around here, and this. Let's try something like that. Okay, now that we have this, we can create, for example, a chain. Let's see how to do. Now I will switch off the body, and I will go back in object mode, and now I can create a piece of a chain. Let's see how to do. For example, the chain is made by torus, by little donuts. Then I will create a new Shift A mesh torus. I make this a bit thinner by decreasing or increasing the radius. Okay, then let's do something like this. I will go in edit mode, pressing tab, scale it down. Then I will go from top view by pressing 7 on the numpad. And what I can do is this, for example, scale it down still, and then copy all of it, Shift D, and then press X to move along the X. I put it here, and I will rotate it, rotate along the X line 90. And now I create somehow, the main module for the chain. Then probably I will put this almost there. And now what I can do, I can say that this object is arrayed on the curve fitting the curve. What curve? This one. And now is the length. This is the right length for this. Now I add, now I add another modifier, which is the curve modifier. And now I say, okay, this length has to be, developed all around this curve. And now I have a little chain. Let's see how it is with our two bodies. Okay, then definitely this has to be modified until it's almost on the body, and then now it's all about making things better and make them work on our project. Probably this is a bit strange. Let me see. Has to go a bit more down there, and etc. Okay. Now I can always change the chain thing. Actually here it doesn't fit well for some reason, and that's the problem. Has to be found in here. Probably the array factor has to be lower. Then we reduce the factor. Now they are all together, and we create a new object. Okay. If I want to duplicate, from the moment I have one, this I will call it, for example, then this is bracelet. This is my chain 1, for example, and it has to go inside the accessories. What I can do is creating, for example, chain 2, I can duplicate I switch off the other one. I go in edit mode, and what I can do now, it's a simple variation. I can do this. For example, I can delete the second one. I take the first one from top. Sorry, let me switch off everything else. I take my own chain, for example, and I can do this. For example, scale Y. I make a different shape, then Shift D, I copy one, go on the X, rotate again, rotate X 90, and now I have a different shape chain, which can work again on top of my NFT. Then somehow I have chain 1. It is a bit different than the chain 2. Next time we will continue by doing texturing and lighting, and everything will take colors and shape and will be more realistic and start to be exciting. Thank you very much. See you next time.